Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm JJ the Bearded Bookworm, and today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Quarantine Tag. This was created by Knick-Knack, and so I'm just hopping on since I happen to have to be in isolation. So, alright, so the first question is, are you planning on reading more now that the world is shut down? The short answer is yes. The longer answer is yes, I'm planning to, but I've been in isolation for 4 or 5 days now, and I have read very little. Just other projects and whatnot have been getting in the way, taking priority now that I have the time, and so I get to the end of it, and I'm like, I haven't even cracked open a book. I have been reading a lot of audiobooks, or listening to a lot of audiobooks, so that kind of has replaced it just because I'm actually doing things that I can't be sitting down and reading. But yes and no as far as if I'm planning on reading more during this time. So the second question is, since work may be interrupted, do you plan on releasing more content? Answer is yes. When I first started this channel, I planned on doing like 3 videos a week, and I've been lucky to do like 2. Usually I do like 1 a week. Trying still have that goal of releasing 3 videos a week, and now that the world shut down, going to actually at least hit 3. In my head, I have planned out for 4 videos a week. I'm going to start doing kind of like a weekly wrap up, talking about not just books but like other things that are going on in my life. Also going to start doing a manga / comic book video every week, starting on Mondays. So if you have suggestions as far as stories or things that you want to discuss, comment down below and we will cover them eventually. Alright, so the third question is, does the current situation have you worried? And if so or not, how are you coping? So when this all started, at first, it was like everybody's blowing it out of proportion. Guys, like, let's just wait and see. We don't know, especially in the media, has a tendency to just blow things out of proportion right out of the way. Chicken Little, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Then as it was going, I was like, oh no, this is legitimately a serious thing, especially for people that are at risk. And then just as it's progressed and everybody's shutting down, I'm like, guys, the countries in general have not shut down even for things like Ebola or swine flu and stuff. So, myself, still not fully realizing the danger of the situation, but still, like, this is definitely a big deal for people that are in charge and understand more of what's going on. Then, my wife got sent home from work and put on the list to be tested. And I was at work at the time because we were both essential workers, and I started freaking out in a bad way. I work at a bank, so I'm trying to count out money, my hands are shaking and whatnot, and I just could not focus. I'm like, I gotta go home. That was the plan anyway. But even if protocol or whatnot was like, no, it's okay, you can stay. I'd be like, no, I'm freaking out. I need to go home. I can't focus on my actual job. So, things that I do to cope. Like I said, we've been doing a lot of projects. We've been meaning to build a garden and things like that. And so with this free time, we've actually been able to do so. We got 1 bed put in, and we got a second one coming later this week. And we're going to start growing a lot of vegetables and whatnot. And in the fall, we'll plant some fruit trees and whatnot. Alright, so the next question is, what books do you recommend to people looking for something to fill their time? Now, everybody keeps suggesting The Stand because of current events and whatnot, but I'm going a different direction. If you're willing to read something like The Stand, which is a huge chunker of a book, you should check out Stormlight Archive, because what kind of video would it be if I wasn't suggesting something about Brandon Sanderson? So, that or Mistborn. Because of our situation, I've been really pushing and pitching Mistborn really hard towards my wife. I really want her to read it. I think once I get those Brandon Sanderson hooks into her, she'll come to the dark side and start reading a bunch of his books. I think another good suggestion might be something, in the sci-fi realm, whether it be The Expanse, The Martian, Red Rising, something like that, where it just takes you completely different world, whether it be fantasy or a sci-fi book. Just get yourself out of go to a whole new world, whole new situation. Don't these dystopian books, these post-apocalyptic books. Stay away from those. Go towards these more fantastical or otherworldly type stories to kind of help keep your mind off of current events if it has you worried. All right, so the next question is, have you read to your kids? What books do they like reading? So every night we got this book, and they got this book for Christmas, and so we've been going through every night reading. And these have, whether it be these super little nursery rhyme ones, Jack Be Nimble or Old Mother Hubbard, or these short 4-page stories. Ones. So there was one called Troll 234, which it's a kid's. It's meant for some very small children, but that was one that stood out because it was telling kids hey, you don't have to be scared of pretend monsters. They might be your friends eventually, or if people got you scared, don't just judge them because of who they are. Get to know them, and you could become really good friends. Another one is, my oldest is 5, and so she's getting to where she's starting to learn sounds and whatnot. She's not in kindergarten just yet, but she's starting to recognize, this letter says this sound. But she wanted to read Beverly Clearly, which I never read as a kid, but it's a very small, very low middle grade book. So I've read that with her a little bit as well. She really enjoys hearing it and whatnot. Just a very short attention span. So it comes, read a page or two and she's off, distracted by her siblings or literally anything else. My youngest, who is just about 2, loves books, and it's ridiculous because he will go run upstairs, go grab a book off of his bookshelf, come in, and just throw everything out of my arms. Knock the phone, knock the book, whatever. And it's Dad, read me this book right now. And you get done, read the book. Dad, read me the book. Read me the book. Read me the book. It's just over and over and over and over again, which I love because eventually he's going to be my kid that's, the bookworm that's constantly reading. I can already tell because my older two, they don't do that. They're starting to do it a little bit now, but he's just constantly, at least once a day, Dad, read me this book. Dad, read me this book. All right, so the last question is, do you have any words for your viewers? Now, if all 10 of you that watch, I'm not in a position to say anything other than, stay calm, be smart, don't be stupid, stay away from people. Self-isolation means don't have parties, even if things like that. I see stuff all the time. See stuff in my neighborhood of, people getting together, having parties and whatnot, and it's just guys, this is still going on. It's not on the decline. Do your part, stay away from each other. Be smart, wash your freaking hands. Things like that. I realize everybody's in a difficult situation, especially if you've, lost your job or are furloughed or whatever. If you are in that situation, I am sorry, and I feel for you. And I hope that this thing resolves itself properly and quickly so that we can all get back to a little bit normal life and everybody can go back to work and society as itself can move on. But with that's all I have for today. I'm JJ the Bearded Bookworm once again, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.